the HBO Max announcement, as HBO Max is going to be launching in May 2020, and some big shows were announced for uh, the streaming service. So one of the bigger ones that was announced was Green Lantern. So Greg Berlanti is going to be producing a Green Lantern TV show. Now the details are scarce, like they haven't confirmed which Green Lantern they're gonna focus on, but it could be the whole Green Lantern Corps because I know they were planning on doing a Green Lantern Corps DCEU movie. I hope that movie's happening because I really want to see Hal Jordan and John Stewart in the DCEU. Those characters really need to be in DCEU. And the other big announcement was HBO Max is also going to be doing a Game of Thrones prequel called The House of Dragons, which I believe is going to focus on the Targaryens since that house dealt with the dragons. So Ziggler, did you hear much about the HBO Max shows, and which shows are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, they canceled their first Game of Thrones show, their first Game of Thrones prequel. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was about the White Walkers, but they fucked the White Walkers up so much that they just don't even want to touch it anymore. And I agree with them. But they fucked with the Targaryens too. So they just fucked with the whole show at the end. I hate to revisit that, but it makes me sad. But yeah, I didn't really, I don't know, HBO Max, HBO, what the fuck's the difference? But this new Targaryen show, it should be fine, I guess. I mean, I'm not expecting much out of it. I just know that Benioff and Weiss are never gonna touch this show, so I am happy for that, and hopefully it will do good. And the other shows, Green Lantern should be cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I really don't give a shit, to be honest. I don't know. I just want a Green Lantern movie, not a TV show. A low budget. It'd probably be a low budget TV show because fuck it, you know. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, HBO Max overall, it sounds pretty good. And if you're already HBO Go subscriber, apparently you're going to be transferred over to HBO Max. And Cam, your thoughts on HBO Max announcements?
I was out of the topic, remember?
Oh, you were. Oh, you were. Oh, okay, I don't think I saw that text. All right, editing block. Tyler, your thoughts on HBO Max announcements and which shows are you looking forward to the most?
So is this another streaming service like Netflix and Disney Plus and everything? Because
Correct, but this one is more Warner Brothers based, so everything Warner Brother related is gonna be here.
Yeah, I saw a little bit on it, but I didn't get to read too much, or see too much. Really, the only show that would interest me is Green Lantern, but like Ziggler said, I kind of would rather have a movie than a TV show. Because will I get HBO Max? Probably not. Because I already have some streaming services, even with Disney Plus coming up in a few weeks here. So, that's really the only show that interests me out of what you said.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right though. There's so many streaming services. People are really gonna have to like pick and choose which ones they want to prioritize.
Yeah, especially with the end of next year with The Office going to NBC's, and it's gonna be a tough loss for Netflix.
Yeah, true. Friends is gonna be on HBO Max though, so that's pretty good news. Also, Apple TV Plus started today, so that's another subscription service. And since I got the like iPhone 11 recently, I got 1 year of that subscription for free, and I started watching like one of their newer shows. I think it's called like Good Morning America or something. It's got uh, Steve Carell in it, so I started watching that. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of streaming services come 2020.
Also,
All
I just
right.
want to let you guys know if you have not bought Disney Plus yet or pre-ordered it, if you have Verizon, you get a year free of
Oh
Disney
yeah,
Plus.
that's true. If you have
Yeah, if you
Verizon,
guys
you get
missed that.
if you have Verizon, you get Disney Plus. I think for 1 year for free.
Yeah, it's 1 year for free, and then it starts charging you the $7 a month after,
Yeah,
or
I
you
mean
can probably just cancel it.
dude, the first year has so much content, so that's good. That's a good
Exactly,
deal.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be a good deal if you have Verizon.
yeah. And speaking of House of Dragons, former Game of Thrones showrunners Benioff and Weiss exited Star Wars, so they were gonna do their own trilogy that was gonna be coming out in 2022, 2024, and 2026. Well, guess what? That trilogy is not happening anymore. Now, I know a lot of Game of Thrones fans were really happy when they heard the news that they were fired. But the thing that really pissed me off about this was like obviously I wasn't a huge Game of Thrones fans, but I know that that show had a lot of loyal fans. And the fact that Benioff and Weiss rushed the ending of season 8 of Game of Thrones just so they can go work for Star Wars, and now the Star Wars project is not even happening. It's just really frustrating.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's why they rushed it? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, because before season 8 was in production, Kathleen Kennedy hired them because she knew this was the last season of Game of Thrones, and that's why they rushed the ending to the
And now they're
season.
not doing Star Wars, so that Game of Thrones failure was all for nothing?
All for
Are you-
nothing. Exactly.
are-
That's why people were mad.
I am gonna kill Kathleen Kennedy, and then I'm gonna kill Benioff and Weiss. I'll see you in prison.
Honestly, man, I wouldn't even blame you. Like, and the thing is, Benioff and Weiss.
Jesus.
I mean,
Hold on. That's the reason?
yep, that's exactly the reason. They even admitted.
They
Not even
ruined
a-
something I loved dearly. One of my
You
favorite
gotta
shows
be
of all
joking
time.
me.
It was on the verge of greatness. It was on the verge of being the greatest show of all time, but then they ruined it, and now Breaking Bad is the greatest show of all time. Which I'm not
I'm
complaining.
not even a
Breaking
fan of
Bad is
Game
the
of
greatest show of all
Thrones.
time, but Benioff and Weiss just ruined Game of Thrones, and I'm just so sad.
I'm not even a Game of Thrones fan. I probably even haven't even seen an episode because fuck paying money for HBO. But that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's messed up. I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, but the fact that they quit Star Wars after giving up on Game of Thrones, it sounds like that's messed up.
Yeah, that just shows you how cutthroat the Hollywood business is, and I don't know, it's just so weird. And but hey, we still have. I guess if you're a Star Wars fan, you still have Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie to look forward to. I mean, I have no idea what that movie's gonna be, but I don't know. Star Wars fans are probably the most unluckiest fans. They're not having a good time right now. All right, so let's continue our W.M.S.T cast member spotlight series. This week, we're going to be interviewing Tyler, finally joining us on the podcast after I don't know how many weeks he's been gone for.
Hey, I'm busy.
That is true. So Tyler, how are you doing today?
Um, I'm all right.
He's tired.
I'm tired.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler, I've probably said this story like a lot of time. People are probably sick of hearing this, but you were literally the first wrestling account I ever saw on Instagram.
Wow, that sucks.
Well, the thing is, I
I'm
saw his
good.
account back in, I think it was like December 2013, and through him, I really got into like wrestling Instagram. And you can pretty much say because I found Tyler's account, I was able to branch into wrestling Instagram and make so many connections.
From Tyler? Jeez.
Yeah, because of
Stooping low.
Tyler. Literally because of Tyler. And I wanted to ask you, Tyler, how did you get into wrestling Instagram? Because I know you were one of the first account. How did you get into it?
I'm trying to think of the first account that I knew. Oh gosh. I just remember I can't remember what accounts. The first one I can think of is
Is
Josiah's
mine.
account with CM Punk Universe. I remember I saw his account and I saw it was pretty popular. So I'm like, what if I do this with another wrestler? So I picked my favorite wrestler at the time, Dolph Ziggler, obviously, because he's from Cleveland. I like this character. He was in the middle of his Money in the Bank World Heavyweight Title Del Rio rivalry, that painful thing. And I just started posting, and people seem to like it. Don't know why. I was a really cringy account, probably. I spammed hashtags to like some people to get likes, and I had like 30 hashtags every single post. It was a rough posting life. But eventually I got up it's like 1,000, 2,000, and I'm sure you guys know. I'm sure I've said it before on here. I got all the way up to like 15,000 followers. That was like where I peaked at. And then Instagram took away followers. I lost followers. I'm down to 8,000 now or whatever. So it's a sad time. But I still enjoy posting on Instagram. Obviously, I don't post on wrestling anymore just because I'm not into that. But I just enjoy like talking to the people that have been following me for years. I always recognize who's been following me forever. Talking about sports with some people, WrestleMania, whenever I watch that every year, I can always get back into the wrestling community during that 1 week. And I just met some cool people through Instagram. I still talk to a lot of them. Like I talk to you guys. I talk to Izzy. You guys know Izzy. And then there's some other people here and there. But overall, I've enjoyed Instagram. I've been on it for 6 years now. So it's older
Yeah,
than
you
some
definitely
children.
Yeah, you're definitely a veteran when it comes to Instagram. And yeah, that's funny because through you, I was able to meet Josiah, and now we're like best friends. And
Yeah.
pretty much you're the reason we're all here, kind of, because
You're welcome.
yeah, you are welcome. Because it's crazy how like somebody can just impact your life like in so many different ways. And heck, we haven't even met ever before. We just know each other through the internet. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've never met anyone like from Instagram, but it'd be cool too one day. Maybe Cam and I were at some Raw on the same day, and we didn't
Really
know.
awkward when you meet people from Instagram. I met Seth Rollins with Ziggler at NXT. Jesus, that was so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any like desires to meet anyone off of
Well, he
Instagram.
just
Sorry,
happened to
Cam.
be going to the event. He's like, "Oh, let's meet up," and I'm like, "No, thank you." And we went to the anyway.
Yeah, maybe we can meet up
Yeah.
at the is it still called the Quicken Loans Arena?
They changed it to the Rocket more something.
Or you guys
Rocket
can come
Mortgage
down
Fieldhouse.
to Florida. for
Rocket Mortgage
WrestleMania 36.
Fieldhouse. They renovated
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, they
Oh
changed it a
yeah.
lot. I haven't
Yeah,
been there yet since they
maybe we
changed it.
can we can either meet at Florida or at the Q, I still
Florida
call it the
or
Q.
Ohio.
I'm still calling it the Q, yeah.
Yeah.
It's catchier that way.
Yeah. And Tyler, I know you're not like that into wrestling anymore, and as I know
gosh.
you've become a bit of a casual now because I don't blame you because wrestling really hasn't been at the peak as it used to be, maybe even like 2 years ago. So, I wanted to ask you what your favorite thing about pro wrestling is. What gravitates you towards pro wrestling, even if you're not that into it anymore?
I'll just go back to when I was into it, so like 2013, 14, maybe 15. It was just the characters that I really liked. Examples, Dolph Ziggler, like I was saying earlier. CM Punk was one of my favorites. Seth Rollins, when he came in, well, the entire Shield was at the time when they first came in. Um, I just liked all the wrestlers during that time. You had Daniel Bryan, who was the most over person of all time during WrestleMania 30. You had the Wyatt family come in facing off against the Shield. Undertaker showing up every year. And there's like some bad things, obviously. In 2012, you had stuff like John Cena versus John Laurinaitis, main event over CM Punk versus Bryan. And
PTSD flashbacks.
yeah, sorry. Um, what else happened in 2012? We had Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio, like
Those were good
All
matches.
over and
seven
over.
seven pay-per-views in a row.
Okay, not that many, but they were good matches.
Yeah, but
They
they got
weren't
boring.
bad matches. If you just stop facing each other.
Sheamus beat Del Rio at SummerSlam by hitting him with his shoe.
Yeah. And then I guess like what made me lose interest, just I remember it was like around Mania 31, I want to say. I think Bryan got injured. CM Punk was out for a year now. He was gone. And Dolph Ziggler wasn't going anywhere like at all. So at the time, so I just started losing interest. I started just Cesaro was interesting. I should have mentioned him earlier, but I just lost interest. The NXT guys that when the network first came out, like Sami Zayn, Neville, all of them, they all ended up going to the main roster, and kind of did nothing on the main roster for a couple years, I think. And
Well,
the
not
new
Kevin
guys on
Owens.
NXT, Kevin Owens too, yeah, him, same. Um, then I just never like got into the new people in NXT, and I just kind of lost interest over time. Just I guess getting older, I guess getting into. I know like I started losing interest in wrestling as I was gaining interest in Marvel, so I guess Marvel kind of took over that spot for what I was into. But yeah,
Yeah.
mainly it was just the
I mean,
characters that I was into.
right. Yeah, honestly, you would be a great example for how like a lot of wrestling fans have tuned out recently from because I know there's been a steep decline in ratings, and that's pretty
Yeah,
much a good reason because a lot of the characters we grew up liking, like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. I mean, Daniel Bryan's still around, but
yeah,
John Cena, like these guys are a lot of them are gone, and
They're
the
having
new
trouble making newer people.
right, like you
Even
yeah.
mentioned,
if Becky Lynch is popular and Seth
right,
Rollins is the
Well,
world
like
champion and the
like Tyler
Fiend. And
mentioned NXT Neville, and he also mentioned Sami Zayn. Like these two could have been huge stars, but they went
like
to the main roster and nothing.
one of my favorite
One
matches that I
example
remember.
of a nerd.
One of my favorite matches that I remember was I've told you guys about this before, the Fatal Four Way with on NXT with Neville, Zayn, Breeze, and Tyson Kidd.
Oh yeah,
You just
true.
see those four guys just have such a great match, and then you see them do nothing really on the main roster. So that just kind of sucked.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.